Alright, everybody, it's Dodgy Yeti here, and I'm here with Chris, aka C Unit, Q, aka Short Round, and we are here for the Thicc Boi Hours podcast. Uh, Blanking on the episode number, but it'll be in the title, so you don't you don't need to.
27.
27.
Almost to 30, baby.
Almost a 30. But yep. So we're here, and uh, it's been um it's been a little bit since we met up for the podcast because the convention that we went to last, me and Q went to, and tried to get Chris to come as well, but he unfortunately had things to do. But yeah, I ended up making a video on my channel over the whole experience. How have you been, boys? What's going on?
Plumbing. Doing my thing.
Lumbering.
Being a real life superhero, as I like to say.
Almost had to
I
go be a superhero this morning.
Oh yeah?
There's a nursing home down the road, and they really only like me. And they were like, "Hey, it's an emergency." It's not. It involves their generator, but I don't work on standby stuff.
Yeah.
And they needed somebody to work on standby.
I
But
think I
go
might be getting
Uh,
sick.
you're getting sick.
I think so. I haven't been. I mean, I didn't really talk very much at all last night when we play D&D. My character doesn't talk a whole bunch, and now that I'm talking a whole bunch, I think I feel a little raspiness.
Dude, I had that happening. What would it be? Wednesday, Wednesday or Thursday, and it was only there for like a day, and then went away. But
Well, maybe that's what I got. Hopefully.
hopefully, I just think
As
it's
for
strong
me,
immune system.
like you said, I didn't get to go to the convention with you, but it's been there's a lot of stuff going on in the background that we can talk about in private. That's not the greatest thing going on right now. However, there have been a couple positive things. Um, we had the pre-release for Secrets of Strixhaven. I went to. It was on Riley's birthday. He was supposed to go with us. However, work duties kind of prevented that a little bit. So me, Blake, and Dominique went. I ended up getting Riley one of the pre-release kits for his birthday or whatever. So we went. We all did pretty well the first two rounds, and probably would have won round three, but we decided to opt out and drop after round two. And well, we didn't actually drop from the event. We just like round three was starting. We all gave our opponents just the 2-0, just let them have it in round three. I mean, we still got some prizes. I got these cool chocobo lands. Here, yeah. Don't know if they'll show up on the camera, but I got these cool chocobo lands because they did like you roll a dice and you get a raffle ticket. And
Nope, blurry.
all right, I'll fix it and show it at some point. But yeah, cool chocobo lands. They look really slick. So it was worth it. We dropped and we kind of strong armed Riley and made him go out to eat regardless for his birthday. And I think Blake bought his birthday and Dominique gave him uh, packs for his birthday or whatever the case is. And so he had a good birthday dinner. Besides that, it's been a lot of Pokemon champions. Uh,
Hell yeah.
Trying to reach champion rank. I don't think it's going to happen. May 12th is end of the season. Um, tried to get a couple videos recorded, but I was having for some reason when I try to like I can record a Pokemon video, but like I have no sound in my headset. And if I set it up to where I have sound in my headset, then there's no game sound in OBS. So something I got to figure out with my limited USB ports on my laptop. But we got the Mega Steelix team out. I'm a big proponent for Mega Steelix. Don't at me on Twitter. But I was struggling to get out of Ultra Ball with a team I was trying out. That was really cool. So we switched to, I told you guys, a Mega Blastoise team with Blastoise and Girafarig. I think that's his name. Girafarig. I'm probably not saying it right. But Mega Blastoise, Citrus Berry, Girafarig, except Trick Room and Rain Dance on second turn. And then Water Spout, try to take out as many people as possible. And then we got King Gambit, Tyranitar, Basculegion, and Thanastia as the other options. Pretty cool. I'm ranked like 68,167 now because I played a couple matches before the pod. But content going forward, probably a lot of Pokemon Champions focused stuff as I continue to learn. I don't claim to be an expert, as I say in all of my videos. However, I'm learning a lot, and I turn my camera off to get it fucking stop being fuzzy. I've learned a lot, still a lot to learn. I can't for some reason I can't memorize all the fucking typings. I don't know why. So something I got to memorize, and team building is a big process for me. So it's kind of like testing out, seeing what other people are doing, seeing what Pokemon I like, because normally I wouldn't use the team that I'm using right now. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Blastoise, but I like to try the unique stuff. Like, I used a Mega Drampa team that I'll have a video for soon. That was a Wolfie team, and it's just a very fun, calm mind, protect him over and over, and then hyper voice like the entire opponent's team down until they pop out the fairy type Pokemon. Then we're just kind of screwed after that. But I got to give a shout out to Star Ryko VGC, as it's his Blastoise team. He made it, and Aaron Cybertron Zhang as the person that did the video I found. So shout out to them. Looking forward to talking about the stuff we got planned for today. So ready to get into it.
All right. Dude, I think so quick question. You have Tyranitar and Blastoise and Basculegion. Do you use it?
Yes.
But Guitar has Sandstream probably, right?
Yes. It's also my second Meg on the team.
Yeah. Do you have rain on the Basculegion or the Blastoise to set up rain for that duo?
No, Girafarig has Rain Dance.
Oh, Graffrig does. Oh.
Yes,
Are you
the
using
way
the evolution? The evolution of Girafarig? The big one where his head is brown and
yes,
the mouth
It's got
opens
the
up.
chomp mouth.
Yeah, I think
his
that's
head is brown.
Girafarig.
Probably
So
that. Like I said, I was probably saying it wrong. The cool thing is, so like, he has armor tail, so like I'm protected from like the priority moves, like fake out or whatever the case may be. So if I have to, I will fake out with Blastoise, just so I only get hit by one of the Pokemon and set Trick Room on turn one. And in under Trick Room, Girafarig is just slow enough that the Rain Dance will get set up before Blastoise goes, and then Blastoise will be able to Water Spout with Rain Dance active. And obviously, based on Pokemon typings, it works really well together. And then Tyranitar's, I haven't really brought him a whole lot, but like he's my weather fighter. So like if they got like multiple people that do weather, like Torkoal, Charizard, Y, uh, anything like that. If there's a whole bunch of like snow setters, I will bring a Mega Tyranitar. But I'm usually um, Mega Evolving Blastoise. I'd say probably 98% of the time. And it seems to work out well so far. Surprisingly enough, if it's just like a Charizard Y situation, I have been pretty fortunate to not have to bring Tyranitar, so I could still bring King Gambit and the Basculegion in the back row. And Basculegion's got Flip Turn, Wave Crash, Aqua Jet, or it's whichever one has the priority +1, and then the Ghost move for Last Respects, which if I'm in a bad spot and I bring Bashka Legion in, I've won quite a few games where I just Last Respects the entire team down, and it's got the scarf where I'm only allowed to use one move. I think it's Choice Scarf, so works out pretty well. And usually you want to lead like Blastoise, Harafarig with King Gambit and Bashka Legion in the back row. That's what the guy recommends and what I found the most success with. But like, if you're a new person wanting to try out the team, I'm not gonna like give the rental code out or anything because I would want you to go watch the person's video or go find the guy on Twitter and support them because it is their team. But they recommend bringing I can't say this Pokemon right either. Sinistra. Yeah, they recommend bringing that one as it can heal up the Blastoise and it also has Trick Room on it and obviously Rage Power to draw whatever attack to it, so you can try to beam down with Blastoise. So
Okay. Well, and it sounds like you've been doing pretty good with that team. So hopefully you're able to climb a little bit more with it.
trying.
Oh, there it is.
Is he in
yeah.
I don't know if you can really tell, but
Is
like
he in a
there's a whole bunch
chef's outfit or something?
there's a whole bunch of chocobo feet print.
Oh, in the foiling. Yeah, I can see that.
I can't.
That's
Yeah.
cool as
That's
hell.
cool.
And I
To
got
kind of.
there's one of like for every land.
Oh wow! And you got those as are those
raffle.
legit cards?
Yeah.
Oh really?
I think they came out of like the holiday, like they had a Final Fantasy holiday situation, and that might be where they came from. But I'd never seen them until I won the raffle. I'm like, well, this is almost better than the pre-release kit. Besides
Yeah,
the good pulls I got.
those are sick. To kind of stay on the topic of Pokemon since we're already here, I was telling Skags a little bit about this yesterday, and oh my gosh, I have a topic. Hold on a second, I have a topic. I just realized.
This man is cooking.
That I heard. This is very much just through the hearing through the grapevine things, but I've seen some stirrings about a particular fella who is doing. He runs Pokemon events, much like the one me and Skags went to a couple weekends ago, and he pretty much put out a statement that's like, "Hey, from here on my events, whenever we host these events, we're doing no uh, sealed product that is available on shelves right now." Basically, his whole idea is he's going to keep scalpers from scalping and being able to come to card show events and then put 200% on all of the cards and kind of put parents in a peculiar situation where I brought my kids here to buy Pokemon cards and to probably buy some packs, and the only packs that are available that they want because they're new are 200% more expensive. And he said it was kind of ruining his community a little bit, and he kind of felt the vibe shift in the events that they were having from lots of people just having fun and collecting Pokemon to I'm just out here trying to make money. And his one little post about, hey, this is what we're thinking about doing from here on kind of sparked big talk and big debates. I don't want to say countrywide, but I mean, the internet is the
Yeah.
biggest small town in the world. So everybody who's anybody in the Pokemon scene is probably talking about it, especially collector scene.
Well,
And
I've always liked. I don't know if you've noticed this. So I'm sure you've noticed. I've done it over the years. It's like, uh, we'll be at Jordan's shop when he had one. We'll be, whatever the case, pack worn or F&M will get prize packs, promo packs, or I'll go up and buy packs, whatever, and then like I'll just put like throw the cards on the table,
Yep.
like because the way we continue, and this goes for every game. It's not Pokemon, just Pokemon. It
Yes.
goes for Magic, it goes for Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, One Piece, Star Wars, any type of trading card game. If you want to have longevity, uh, this could even go to like wrestling or like Pokemon VGC.
Yeah.
If you want your game or product to have like the lifespan of like Magic's been around since '94, Yu-Gi-Oh's been around since 2003, I think. Pokemon's been around forever, and we've had wrestling through generations of wrestlers, and like VGC's been going on for years and years and years. Is you gotta help the next generation. I'm not saying go out there and buy somebody like a deck or just any any little bit to pay a situation forward. Like I'd mentioned, after even when I played standard all the time, like after a certain while, like I would play the same standard deck for a while, and then I would say I have no need for standard cards, but then at some point I build something new. But like you know, here's this pack of cards, usually with the rares and stuff still in the pack. Like there's if I pull like a $250 rare, it's a little different, but and I remember the last the last good thing I did at Jordan's shop before he no longer wanted to run the shop anymore. There was a guy that came in new to Magic, wanted to play. We were trying to teach him Commander, I think is what it was, and I had a feeling like he wasn't going to be around for long. But I'm not playing this pre-con I had. It was the around Brothers War or something. They came out with the all retro bordered Mishra and Urza's deck or whatever, and I had an extra Mishra deck, and I'm like, as much as I like retro border cards, the chances are I'm not going to play this deck too much. So like I just gave this kid this deck, and whether he still plays Magic or not, it was just an attempt to continue to keep the game alive in some form or fashion. So to see you mentioned the guy holding the events to try to maintain the price from fluctuating up too high and out of an affordable price range is very, very cool in my book. So
Yeah.
kudos to that guy.
I think it goes without saying, fuck scalpers. But especially fuck scalpers. I can understand back when we started playing Magic heavy and coming to the shop, Magic was pretty lucrative, and it really wasn't a collector's game at that point in time. It was these cards hold this value because they're going to be good and played in decks. And so I could understand back when people were like, I'm buying 15 boxes of this set because I want a high chance at one getting those cards, and then if I'm a reseller or whatever it is, then I have a bunch of cards to resell. But especially fuck scalpers who are going after a game like Pokemon where there are a lot of kids. I can't tell you how many kids we saw at that convention that were more worried about the price of the cards that they were looking at and like turning it into like clout for, oh yeah, I have this very expensive card. It's like that's not what it. I mean, I you have to like Pokemon in some kind of way, shape, or form that you're here. It can't all just be about money. But now you have kids whose favorite Pokemon are like exclusively Mew, Pikachu, Eevee, and
Umbreon.
Umbreon because those are the high dollar cards, and that's what everybody else has told them is cool. And it's like, you
Well,
should be
It's
liking whatever
funny.
you like.
It's funny. I need to go back and think about my favorite Pokemon. I wrote an article last year, like my top 10 favorites, and I think the list has slightly changed. But it's funny that you said fuck scalpers because I just remembered I scalped one time. I got a funny story. So, yeah, I scalped once. So Jordan, uh, his distributor was having like issues getting Jordan enough like designer sleeves, and this is before katanas. Like I'm exclusively like katanas are my go-to sleeves now, and so like good quality sleeves with designs are hard to come by sometimes. Sometimes like the designs peel off or the sleeves tear easily. Jordan was having trouble with his distributor getting sleeves, and these were back in like talking about like Eric and Raiden were like still in school, like so 20. See, it was right around the time I was thinking about quitting, so like 2015, 2016, around there. So I bought all of the designer sleeves in Jordan's shop that he had, and there's this one kid. I don't remember what his name is, but he came with Eric and Raiden, and he really wanted these designer sleeves. And back then, I had a it's like a personal policy. Like I don't like selling stuff inside card shops without
It's bad manners.
the with bad. It's my own personal thing without card shop getting some type of value. So packs of sleeves, like I don't know the exact value. They were like I don't know, probably like around
$5.
$4, $4 or $5. And I told this kid, I'll sell you packs of sleeves, $12 a fucking pack. And he bought 4 packs of sleeves from me, and I gave Jordan $12.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Ugh.
So I scalped once, not as a big deal as like what we actually are talking about, but you just reminded me of that story of
Yeah.
scalping one of Eric and Raiden's buddies. But you know, Eric and Raiden deserved it when they tried to jip Riley off of a fucking. Riley really wanted an F&M promo, which was Clash of Wills, is like 25 cents,
Yeah.
and Raiden, it was definitely Raiden. Raiden traded Riley however many he had, so Riley would have a play set for Riley's. What was the black card? Kalidas, the 4-drop Kalidas. It was like $35. I'm like, no, this ain't fucking happening. And that was before I was a lot calmer. More of a zen Chris. I'm like, I will kill you if you don't give him his fucking card back. I will end your life. And not really, but I will yeah. And so Eric paid Riley the difference between whatever the deal was with him and Raiden. And like it's just good manners not to fucking rip somebody off.
Yeah.
So
Tell that
Oh,
to all these
that
motherfuckers.
was like a $30 card back then.
yeah. Clash of Wills was 25 cents a piece.
Tell that to all the scalpers, Chris. Tell them that they don't have very good manners.
Yeah. I will end you. Just kidding. Don't sue me or something. So since we're talking about Pokemon, we might as well just keep staying on
Hold on.
Pokemon,
Skag's
right?
been trying to
Oh
say
yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
for like
Sorry.
25 minutes.
I was just gonna keep
Go
letting
ahead.
it go. Oh, I was just gonna say to piggyback off of like what Q had said about like the way like kids were in at that convention. I talked about it in the video, but like I seen like kids, like actual little kids, like getting like rump bumped out of the way by these fucking annoying, like I don't know if they were scalpers or just like traders, whatever. They had all their slabs in one of them goofy ass boxes that they brought, and like some of the parents were just like, oh, didn't see like the dude like squeezing in, thought that their kid was like going, like getting too close to somebody, and was like, oh, I'm sorry, hey, get over here, buddy. And it just kind of sucked to see that, you know, we're all kind of grown ups in a children's card game, man.
Yeah.
You know Kabuto King? Have you guys seen him or
Yeah.
about him?
Oh, yeah.
Well, ever since he popped up, I think it's pretty funny and cool what he like buying as many Kabutos as possible
Yes.
just because he loves the card. I thought about starting a whole new online persona of just something of a Pokemon card too, and then I seen all these other people pop up. I'm like, it's not going to be as funny. But
Yeah.
I thought
Skag
about
needs
doing
to
that for
do
a
the
second.
Cackler Kingdom or something like that.
Cackler
Buy all
Conquer.
the
The Cackler
Skagglers.
Conquer.
But since we're still on Pokemon, I'll give you guys some time to think about any Pokemon Champions questions you might have, since I did write a review for the game and have played an extensive amount. Um, I think we'll talk about that in a second. But so Centro Leaks on Twitter, this has been one of my pre-podcast things, is I like to have a Pokemon topic because we love Pokemon. Um, so Centro Leaks on Twitter usually is like they're like the number one leaker of any Pokemon information. So some of the stuff that is currently in development at Game Freak I want to talk about before we get into Champions, while you guys think of some questions, is so we're in full production now of Pokemon Wind and Waves, which we're not supposed to get any more concrete information until next year, but we know how video game information leaks all the time. Pokemon Pocopia DLC, which is being co-developed with Omega Force. I have heard multiple different things. Something Kanto involved or something of that lines. I don't know how true that is, but it's cool to see that the DLC is hopefully going to hold people over along with Champions until Wind and Waves comes out. And it's funny that there's always been like a 3-year like time frame between games. This is going to be the first time it hasn't done that. And it's like I think it's 5 years before the game releases. They're already working on Wind and Waves DLC, full production of that. Something called Pokemon Project Karasu, which is supposed to be like Pokemon Legends 3. I've heard from my sources that it is either going to be in Johto or Hoenn. So take that with a grain of salt. My sources aren't definitive enough yet. I'm not that popular in the game industry, but my sources say Johto or Hoenn region, which are two great regions, two of my favorites, and they're in pre-production for Pokemon Project Seed, and it's supposed to be supposedly a multi-region MMO in Gen 11. The thing that sticks out most
Oh,
out of all these leaks is specifically they also noted that No Unova remakes are currently in development or pre-production. Um, Pokemon Project Seed multi-region MMO is interesting. When I used to stream on Twitch in like 2014, 2015, before it got like really, really popular amongst everybody, there was someone working on like a Pokemon MMO, and like it was it was bare bones, but like it was an enjoyable time. So when I seen this Pokemon Project not Karasu, sorry, Pokemon Project Seed, which reminds me of the Seed from Sword Art Online, where all the MMO worlds converge together, which makes sense of being a multi-region MMO. What do you guys think about a Pokemon MMO? How do you think um, that would work, and what do you think a game like that, a Pokemon MMO, would need to be able to succeed in this day and age?
So to go back to your first question that you flew by, Champions, how do you feel about the amount of Pokemon that are in it?
Hold on. Champions is next. Champions is next.
You already asked
Hold
the
on.
question. You asked
I
4 questions already.
I said think of questions for champions, but I wanted to talk about the leaks first.
Ah, well, forward that. That's my question.
I got you.
I think I think it would end up being a lot like how Arceus is. Honestly, just hopefully better. Like I don't know. There was always it was probably just the Switch itself, but there was always something about like how it ran, how Arceus ran that I just didn't feel very the most smooth to me, and it kind of like
the Switch is
Scarlet.
very underpowered.
Yeah, which is kind of like Scarlet, which you know, with how it ran, it definitely dampened the feel of the game. If it would have ran like it does on the Switch too, it probably would have been magnifique.
Yeah.
But uh, I would love to be able to run around with my Pokemon in an open world game, and I kind of want it to be. Don't want it to be like Arceus, in that I would love for it to be free combat like ZA is. I like the free combat.
I'm gonna have to wholly 100%. Now I haven't played it, so I don't know if I like it. But the Legends games was the absolute worst thing that they ever did to the battling system of every Pokemon game.
I,
And I think that, in my opinion, it does not feel like a Pokemon game anymore when you battle like that. Now, is there a place for it, and could that be the future of how you battle? Sure, because I think that's true to the way that they battle in like the show and everything. The only thing that I don't like about it is the trainer interaction. Very seldom do we ever see the trainer or anybody else like being in harm's way. And I could understand it in Legends Arceus, because it's like, hey, we're literally taming Pokemon right now. The whole story is us building our first relationship and bonds with Pokemon. So it's like, yeah, you're going to be caught in the crossfire. You don't know that these things can shoot crazy laser beams and everything else. But now that we're in a more civilized age of battling, and I feel like Pokemon and people have this connection, that shouldn't be a thing. So in my opinion, the battle should be, okay, you're going to throw your mons in, and then you go into and control your Pokemon and do like a more Tekken style fight, or a they had a Pokemon fighting game, didn't they?
yeah,
Yeah,
Pokken tournament.
Tekken. Yeah,
Pokken.
the Tekken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go more fighting that style, in my opinion, if you want to do something like that. But I
Uh,
think an MMO is hard to do.
I think I think if you do the ZA, uh, the ZA version, but you leave out the trainer interaction, it'd be great. I think if they do the Arceus style battling, which is the absolute worst battling ever in any Pokemon. I will take Pokemon Ranger spins over that shit. But honestly, the combat in ZA, I did like that part of it. That was pretty cool.
So it
Everything.
is updated and different than what Arceus was,
Oh
then.
yeah, dude. You
Okay.
and the thing is, you can, as long as you're not an idiot, which I was an idiot a few times, you can keep yourself out of danger
Yeah.
and just control your mon running around. Each one of its moves has a cooldown, and you can use them in certain ways. Some moves interact a little bit different, and like it, kind of like MMOs or like RPGs, like the status effect moves only hold for so long, for like
Okay.
10 seconds or 5 seconds or something like that. So it's kind of like MMOs or RPGs where like, or like Diablo, where you want to throw down this move and then bing bang boom, like you have combos
Yeah,
that you
maybe
want to
they
do.
okay. So it sounds like they kind of are ramping up to like a more MMO style.
And
Now, the reason I say I think it would be hard is because if you're doing, you obviously have to have somewhere where everybody can battle, because there's going to be a ton of people who want to do that. You're if you do an MMO, this is coming from a guy who loves to fish, and I love to do all. I pretty much don't want to play whatever fucking game you've made. I don't want to play it. I want to do all the extracurricular shit on your game. So for me, you have to have a good place for breeding and incubating eggs, or a cool, fun system for that. You have to have cool, good fishing spots. Like I make me explore the entirety of all the regions to find the best fishing spots. You have got to have all. You know what we bring back? You know it would be fucking awesome that we could bring back if they do the MMO. Me and Skaggs have talked about this a lot. You bring back fashion shows. And when you bring back fashion
Yes.
shows, that means you bring back the dressing your Pokemon up. That means we go around, we can get items. We can make Snorlax have a little hat on. We can make Pikachu put a little scarf on. You can do all these fun things, and then you still get your core people who are like, I love to battle. I'm going to go collect all the Pokemon, all the normal things you do in a Pokemon game. But then you make it an MMORPG by like, oh, yeah, no, I have this guy who he literally just fishes all day. So he has apricorns and all that. Bring those back so you can make Pokeballs. So you have a
Good old,
guy who's
good
literally
old
just
Kurt. Good
yes,
old
you
Kurt.
literally just have a guy who's like, "Oh, go to this dude. Go to this character player. He
The
makes Pokeballs all day long. He has whatever Pokeball you want."
and the thing is, like, whenever we talk about like fashion shows, fashion is such a big thing in MMOs. It's already a giant thing. Like, I've been playing a lot of Guild Wars 2 lately. Right now, I'm running through a collection so I can get enough of this one currency so I can get a bunch of like skins for pieces of armor right now for myself. And it's a piece of armor that it's a set of armor that with a hood that I have, I'll end up looking like oh, what was it? Was it Death from Darksiders? Is what I'm going for with it. You remember yeah,
I don't
Darksiders
remember.
1.
I don't remember what his helmet looked like.
It was just a hood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm kind of going for with this. Like it, I've been light armor, but like it's still like built like armor, and so I'm like, hell yeah, get to do that. So that there's
Yeah.
a lot of cool
It'd be
stuff that you
cool.
can do in MMOs, and I think that
Well,
fashion show would be a great one.
I've never played any of the Legends games yet. However, if I get a Switch 2, I'll probably get one that has Legends Arceus. Not Arceus. Legends EA, just because that's the most recent one. So it'd be something I'd dive into. I don't think there's any Switch like games I need to get like immediately.
Yeah.
But when I get a Switch 2, I'll probably look for some type of deal like that. Um,
You really haven't played
I,
Arceus?
uh-uh. I don't think it's going to be anything like Legends. Um, my thought is that the formula exists in uh, the from generation 1 to the upcoming generation 10. Like everything you guys talked about already exists in the game.
Yes.
So the thing about like it's hard to remember because this is like a really small MMO fan created thing, but like we start off, we get our Pokemon of choice. Obviously, you're not going to give us something super rare, some type of basic Pokemon from somewhere. But like you mentioned fashion shows, that's something you could do. You could have the go get the item, get the whatever Pokeball you want made. Battle Frontier, you could do the battles where you had it's the one game I never played that I probably need to go back and play. There's one Pokemon game where you go back, you could play trainers from previous games. I think you can even play against Professor Oak in one of them.
Sun and
Play
Moon, I
against
think,
Ash,
is when they started doing that.
but they had like a weird is like you play battle trainers from the past or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But like all that can exist. You are right. They do need to have like some special place to battle because you're not just going to be battling randomly in the streets. And just depends on how great they want these graphics. Do they want pixel style MMO graphics? Some MMOs and stuff do have that style of thing, and it works for some places. People still play Minecraft all the time. People play Roblox. People play just any types of different art styles. So it depends on what art style they're going to go with. If they go with the pixel graphics, they could just have the battles in the streets. It really just depends. I hope it's modern day art style. I think that is something that could look really, really good. And like they already have the formula. I think it could succeed, but they need to incorporate something that's a little bit for everybody. They need to incorporate something that's going to bring new players into the franchise. You obviously want to keep the veterans of the franchise or the people that play the other games. You want to see if they will be interested in playing an MMO style game.
And you know what I think they need to do on top of everything is there's been talks, I think it's in the manga or something like that for Pokemon, but like every Pokemon gym leader has their team that you go and face in the game.
Yeah, you
Well,
have to have the gym leaders in the
yeah.
MMO. You have to.
So in the manga, you show up and there's a very specific towns that you have to go through because it's a game. So you start here, you get the first gym badge, the second gym badge. There's no jumping around. In an MMO, you would have the ability, or at least you should have the ability to jump around and go to those different places. And in the manga, they've talked about like, well, depending on what level your Pokemon are, that's the level and the different kinds of Pokemon that the gym leaders would use. So like they have a baby team. If you only have one badge, this is the team that we use. If you come in here and I'm your last gym, this is the team that I use because you have all of your badges kind of thing. And something like that I feel like would make it awesome. So you go region by region, whatever region you want to start in is where you're allowed to start. That determines your starter and your basic Pokemon. I think we talked about this before, but I'm running through it again. And you just go and do your gym battles however you want to do your gym battles, however you want to continue through. The only problem is when you're there, you got to beat those gyms if you want to be able to start doing gyms in another region. Not that you can't go to the other region and catch Pokemon, but you can't start participating in their gym battles until you've completed whatever set of gym battles you're
Yeah.
in. And
They also need
keeping
to have more than just 8 because I don't know if you guys remember this, but I remember watching the anime when Gary like flashes the badges that he has. Like,
Yeah, and he has like fucking 20 of
yeah,
them.
yeah,
because he's been to
he has.
other regions.
At that
He's
time,
out
he hasn't. At that time, he hasn't. They were all Kanto. Just like I don't know if it's canon or not, but those are other badges that exist within the Kanto
in
world.
Kanto?
Yes.
Huh.
I think it was like, yeah, he's got 10 badges in his little box.
Something I think
So
they could really
maybe the
succeed at.
minimum was 8, and Ash just was
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to get what I need to go to the.
I'm
Something I
doing the
think you
bare
guys would
minimum.
find cool being Monster Hunter players where you go out and you fight the big ass monsters. Like Pokemon even has a thing where you could have world bosses. Like they've done it. Terror raid battles. Dynamax Pokemon. Like you could have those appear in the wild. You
Yes.
go up. Um, this world boss spawns in like 3.5 minutes. Hopefully enough people show up or you're gonna get fucking slaughtered by a giant Steelix. I'm saying Steelix because it's my favorite mega, but like there is just so much they could do. So I'm interested to see what they come up with. They also had some more Gen 10 leaks. They had spoiled a poison type gym leader, which is going to be an idol slash performer character, and a new dragon slash poison type Pokemon could be story related. I don't know what your guys' favorite types are, but what do you think about a dragon poison type? The rumor is something that kind of resembles a Komodo dragon, is what
Because
the rumor is.
do we have our dragon poison type now is Nagandel and Poipole? Am I
And
misremembering?
Dragalge.
Dragalge.
So, I mean, I'd love a Komodo dragon, poison dragon type. That would be amazing.
Listen, any poison dragon type that's not. I mean, I love Dragalge, don't get me wrong. That he's one of my homies, but a lot of people don't like him. I definitely don't like his mega. So I think Poison Dragon, the more the merrier on cool, as long as they look cool. I don't care. You could have, you could be, you could have the shittiest typing in the game. Nobody can argue with me. Water normal, B barrel. He looks awful. That's why I hate him. I hate Bidoof and I hate B
Yeah.
barrel because they look awful. Not because of their typing or anything like that. If you slap water normal on a cool ass Pokemon, I don't care. It should never be about the types, in my opinion.
Yeah, I actually fully agree with that. It
So, as long as they look cool, who cares?
That's what
And
I'm not a big fan of Dragalge, but Nagandle, I
Yeah,
love
Nagandle's
Nagandle.
good.
and
Playful's
as we
got a weird
mentioned,
head.
Pokemon Champions came out April 8th, I think is what it was. April 8th or April 10th, I can't remember. So it's been out now a few weeks, and I did a review for lordsofgaming.net, which I also posted in our podcast Discord channel if you guys want to reference that at all for any questions. And I will have a video up on my YouTube as soon as I get a chance to record it, reviewing the game. So I've played since it came out pretty much. I didn't get a early version of it or not. I will start off by saying I did buy the starter pack, which was like $7 or $8, and I did decide to do the battle pass just so I could, see how hard it is to finish a battle pass, see if it's actually worth the price or whatever the case may be. So, floor is open to you guys
A
before I just.
scalper and a pay to winner. We've finding
Dude,
out a lot about you in this recording, Chris.
I will say, the game is not pay to win. I think even without the starter pack and the battle pass, because you can get the battle pass is a few Pokemon and Mega Stones, but all those can be bought with the victory points in game.
Yeah.
You can't get the icons or whatever the case may be, like some fashion stuff like profile
Yeah.
icons or whatever. But like everything else on the battle pass, besides like the bonus victory points, like you're not going to buy victory points with victory points. That doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. But everything's
Can
free to play. Like I could tell if I wouldn't have bought anything, I would have plenty of tickets left over to train Pokemon, plenty of tickets over to be able to speed up recruitment times because you get one free recruitment every 24. Maybe it's 21 hours. It's like 21 or 22 hours. You get one free recruitment. Um, you would get so much rewards just from doing challenges like use so many super effective moves, play one ranked battle, one recruitment, just doing the daily and the weekly challenges. Like even if I wouldn't have bought that stuff, I would have plenty of tickets left over to do whatever I needed to do. I will say I'm a very impatient person, so for people like me, if I'm trying to review a game, I need to see all types of aspects of the game. So like I said, I bought the starter pack and I spent 400 speed up tickets to try to recruit. I told Skaggs about this. I spent like 400 speed up tickets and 20,000 victory points to speed up time to try to get a Scizor and a what was the other one? Alakazam. I could not get a Scizor or an Alakazam from the recruitment farm for nothing. And like I'm still getting Pokemon from the recruitment farm because Skaggs' first question was, what do I think about the number of Pokemon? Like I'm still getting Pokemon from the recruitment farm that I do not have yet. And
Yeah.
I take at least one that I don't have every time for trial recruitment because even if you don't actually trial recruitment's free and they'll stay in your box and at the end of the 7 days if you want to decide to get that Pokemon you still can. But like I still get Pokemon all the time I don't have. And I still have not got an Alakazam or a Scizor to pop up in the recruitment. I do have them. Skaggs
Yeah.
did help me out. He helped me evolve a Scyther and a Kadabra for me. But I've still not seen every Pokemon that there is to see. So I think that the number of Pokemon is very good for new players specifically because we already talked about this when Quentin mentioned the situation at the Pokemon event. Like, if you want to keep something like Pokemon VGC alive, you got to find a way to fluctuate new players in without overwhelming them all at once. Just think about if every Pokemon that is in Pokemon games is in Champions, every item is in Champions. That's overwhelming. Like I'm a little overwhelmed with just all the stuff I've been trying to learn in such a very quick time because before this I had no VGC experience besides what I would see on because I'd watch the tournaments and stuff. But to have a limited number of items, and I still have not used every item, I still have not used every Pokemon, and people are still coming up with unique and creative ways to use teams. Like there's an event going on this weekend, and Wolfie is playing a Oko team, and for people that don't know what Oko is, it stands for One Hit Knockout Team. Because if you use Halucha, it's no guard ability, and
Yes.
I think it's entrainment or something. The one hit moves don't miss, and
Yes.
just funny stuff like that. I'm still seeing unique stuff. Don't get me wrong, like the top tier champions rank, like there's going to be people that are going to try to maintain like levels of like their ranking, so they're going to use like the best possible teams that they have encapsulated so far, but there's still people creating new teams with the Pokemon available. There's still items I've not seen yet, and it allows for the veteran players such as like Aaron, Wolfie, and all the other people that have been playing for years to try to get creative with some of these berries I've not even heard of. Like I've never heard of a Chopal berry until I started using King Gambit. Like I didn't even know like status berries existed really, and like people are getting creative with like uh, not using Mega Genghis Khan and using Fake Out. And there's a move that if you use all your other moves, if you clicked all your other moves, you can use this move, and it's like 140 power, and it's like really super powerful. I can't remember. So you do like 2-move Genghis Khan. I'll think of it in a minute, but like there's still people getting creative with the Pokemon available. I'm just started seeing Pokemon I've not seen pop up. Like people are starting to use Sableye. A lot of people using double screen Sableye. I've not seen Milotic pop up until like the past week and a half. I had not seen anybody use Milotic, and she's been in the game since the game came out. So I think the number is really good for new players. I think the veteran players will be able to still be able to use strategy. Now, I know some of them didn't like them removing the IVs and EVs. I also think that's a good thing for new people. You could still get creative. There's still natures. You could still raise and lower stats using victory points however you want to get creative. I mentioned you asked me about my team, the Blastoise team, and I mentioned the cool thing about leading Blastoise and Girafarig or whatever his name is that I can't pronounce properly, being that Girafarig has 1 point speed lower than Blastoise, so he will go first under Trick Room so I can set up Rain Dance. When I set up Rain Dance, Blastoise will usually go second, hit the water spout, and lay out some massive damage. So I think it's really good, the number that they have right now. And like there's already hints about incoming, I don't know how many, but incoming Pokemon influx. So I'm interested to see what they do with that. I think there's still plenty of room for certain Pokemon that have not had any spotlight to get some. I'm seeing Con- Conkeldurr. I seen him for the first time. What day was I off? Tuesday and Wednesday. I seen Conkeldurr for the first time since I played Champion. So I think the number's really good,
Are
especially for new players, and there's still room for plenty of creativity.
are they using Milotic in for like Dragon Cheer to boost a Dragon type
Usually
move?
it's funny because I did not see any Milotic, like I said, until like the past like week and a half, and I seen a video on TikTok, and this guy's like, if you really want to annoy opponents, they put out the grab you line for the video. If you want to annoy your opponents or whatever, this Milotic team's the way to go. Blah blah blah. So they
Milotic
use
can be annoying because she can learn
yes,
haze.
Coil Milotic with 100% hypnosis is pretty annoying. I'm not gonna lie,
Oh, so they're
but that
using her like that. That's also
I've
really
seen a
cool.
couple different things. It's usually paired with Mega Frostlass with the Blizzard and stuff like that. But the one I've seen the most is Coil Milotic with the Hypnosis and Scald for trying to get the burns off too. So like either Milotic's going to try to put you to sleep or try to get the burn with Scald. Which don't get
and
me wrong, I'm joining the evil. I
uh,
will be trying out Coil Milotic. So
in Scarlet, I ran a Milotic that had Dragon Cheer, Hypnosis, Coil, and Scald.
Calm Mind. I think Calm Mind is also on the. I think it's Calm Mind. Maybe it's not. I think the Milotic that does not do the coil hypnosis. I think that one runs Calm Mind and some other stuff. But like a lot of people don't realize, like I mentioned the Garaffarig. I didn't even know that Garaffarig could learn Rain Dance. Like
I didn't
you
either.
got to think of some of the different combinations of moves you could just put on Pokemon. Like I mentioned, I didn't know Garaffarig could learn Rain Dance. Um, I didn't. I should have known, but like I didn't even know Charizard could learn Solar Beam. Like I just thought that was a
Really?
grass thing, but no. I've been. They try to because it'll be like a Charizard Venusaur or like a Meganium Charizard situation like that because Meganium has Mega Soul, so it doesn't take the charge up time for Solar Beam. And then obviously, if Drought or the Sun is active, you also don't have the charge up time for Solar Beam. So my Blastoise, if I've not fake out or flinched a Charizard Meganium, I definitely get hit by Solar Beam quite a bit by Charizard and Meganium on the first turn.
Um, if you have, I want to say it's Charizard Y. It whenever it transforms, it sets the sun for itself and
Yep.
will use Solar Beam. So it's a very self-sufficient way
Yep,
to
it's the
deal
most
with.
popular Charizard right now in Champions too.
Yeah, and that is completely understandable because it takes care of its own weaknesses.
I will say, I have not been one hit KO'd by a Solar Beam yet. However, it's very fucking close. The Blastoise is really, I'm not gonna say super bulky, but he's strong enough to where he survives a Solar Beam and can deal a lot of damage with the Water Spout. So
It keeps licking and keeps on ticking. Well, that, that's good because I heard from what I understand that Charizard Y was a menace when it first came out because of that and being put on there with like on like Groudon teams and stuff.
yep.
It was pretty damage heavy.
Some other things I'll mention real quick before we see what questions Q might have is like I mentioned, they have a recruitment farm where you can get all your different type of Pokemon. It's a steady way to build teams. Like I said, I've still not seen every Pokemon I want to see. I spent so many VP tickets, and I think for the most part, that's VP tickets I earned just from battling. The speed up tickets, obviously, you get those through the battle pass and stuff like that, but it's not necessary. Um, very good for impatient people, veteran players, people like Skaggs, Quentin, Wolfie, the old games, you can bring your Pokemon from Pokemon Bank to Pokemon Home from whatever system, as long as they exist within Champions. The way it works is a little bit different because technically they visit Champions. You can't put I don't think you put Champion Pokemon in Home. I've not tried, but you can import Pokemon. So like, there's a lot of people that haven't even used the recruitment at all because they have all those Pokemon. But the good thing for new players is Pokemon Champions, I think, forces experienced players to have to rethink strategies. Like, for example, someone like Wolfie or any of the other pro players, like they're going into this with a mindset. Like they're going to be like, okay, so like the optimal way is like this person's probably going to protect, and then this Pokemon's going to do this. So if I do this, this, and this, well, chances are there might be playing someone new that doesn't know what the optimal play is. I can tell you several times, I'm almost positive I've not made optimal plays. So if they would have went against me thinking that, okay, well, this C unit guy is going to do this and this, you were probably wrong because I probably fucked up and chose the wrong thing, not going to lie. So I think new players might have a better advantage than they realize over some of the pro players.
It's a real
Um,
Arthur moment from Fire Force.
Yeah.
um,
But yeah,
30
no,
plus hours of play without running out of resources. I still have plenty of resources. I do have extra because of the battle pass and the starter pack, which I do recommend the starter pack. If you have $8, I think it's worth it. Um, Plenty of titles and customizations that feel like earning like an achievement, and achievements also give you VP tickets, whatever the case is. Um, the monetization is fair, like I said. You can play without spending any money. They got a starter pack that's $6.99. Optional battle pass, not necessary, for $9.99. Everything that you need for competitive purposes is available inside the game store for purchase with victory points. I think all victory points I've received have been between like I've not got more than 500. So like I don't know if you can get more than 500, but I think for losses I've gotten enough victory points that it doesn't feel like a big letdown. And even wins, I feel like the amount of victory points you get is pretty well. I've not had any issues with visuals. The performances ran smoothly. I know I've seen some people said that the Switch 2 version had some issues. I've not experienced any of that. Sound's been strong. Character models look good. No lag or anything like that. I have had some connection issues. I think that's just a my internet problem. I don't think that's a Pokemon Champions problem. But what do you got for me, Q?
I just have a statement, which is I think that Pokemon has dialed their shit in on their extracurricular purchases and everything between Pokemon Go, Pokemon Sleep, now Pokemon Champions, Pokemon Home, all of the different services that Pokemon provides. The thing that they do fantastically is they never ever make you feel like you need to buy anything to play your game, which is good, which is what most games do. But I think what Pokemon has dialed in very well is they know the exact tism that people have that play Pokemon games and that they will spend money on, which is completionist things. It is costumes. It is the different ball throwing styles and everything. And they're like, well, yeah, you could spend all day grinding and probably all week grinding, and yeah, you can eventually get that ball throwing style. Or it's just $2. It's just $5. And
It's
then
funny
they'll
you
come
mentioned
out and
that.
they'll say,
Go ahead.
"Oh, here is a limited edition ball throw. It won't be back till next year. It's only in the store for a little bit of time." Oh, that really sucks. You didn't save up all of your points for the past 6 months. Well, I mean, it'll be here next year, or you can spend $5 and you can just go ahead and get it right now. So they're very good at that. And yes, they're not technically paid to win or anything like that, but they make their fucking money off of these games.
I will say you cannot buy victory points. So if anybody was curious about that, I didn't include that in my review. There's no way to buy victory points,
Yeah.
but there's the starter pack and the battle pass. It's funny you mentioned the ball throws because they do have those, and I think that they're appropriately priced. I think it's like 400 victory points, and you get 300 for winning a match. So um, as long as they continually like include more, I will say I think the level of like I don't want to say rarity of items, but like the tier of like item importance, I think is appropriate price. Like a Mega Stone is like 2,000, and all those are in the shop. So it takes like 7 wins, I think, get you over the amount to get a Mega Stone, and you get victory points for almost anything. I don't think they should allow people to buy victory points. I think the system that they have now is pretty good.
Yeah.
And like I said, stuff is priced. Different items do cost different prices, though. Most items range from like I'm not gonna know the exact price unless I pull out my Switch, but like I think it's like 300 to 600. Besides the Mega Stones that are 2,000, so it's pretty good. I will say before, if you have any other questions, there's two things I did not like about Champions, and it irritated me so much it dropped the score down. What did I give this game? I gave it an 8.9. I think I was originally pretty close to like a 10, but it wasn't a 10. But I was pretty high up in the nines, and I dropped it all the way down to an 8.9. um, just for the simple fact of replica team system replaces easier rental teams. So the way that rental teams used to work, for people that might not know and are new to champions, is rental teams is used to get a code. So like if you watch the tournaments, Victory Road is a very popular website that usually includes like all the rental codes for like the top teams. You just go to the rental code, you type in the thing, the Pokemon team's available for you to use instantly. The way it works in Champions with the replica team is you have to have all Pokemon. You have to have all. That's why I spent, like I said, like 400 tickets, 20,000 victory points because I couldn't get an Alakazam. And I had a Scizor pop up a couple times, but I was trying to get the other Pokemon that I knew were going to be rare than the Scizor. And you have to have all
Does
six
that
Pokemon.
cost anything?
Does what cost?
The making the team, like from the copy.
It just costs the victory points.
Okay.
The way that works is, so if you have all six Pokemon, you have to have all the items that the Pokemon has, which you can get in the shop. So you have to have all six Pokemon, all six items, and it will say, like it'll say, Chris, you want to use Q's team or whatever, and then it will tell you like the points it costs to like change the moves, the stats or whatever, and it'll ask you to change the stats right there. So you don't actually have to know the team stats, and it'll just do it for you, and it will give you like this costs 2,000 victory points. This is free, whatever the case may be. So it does cost victory points, but it does it for you.
Yeah.
And that is a little bit more difficult for new people because they might not realize, they might, see the pro players has this cool team, and then they're like, well, why did only 4 Pokemon pop up when I did that? That's because you have to have all 6 Pokemon and all the items. So replica teams are less simpler than rental teams. I have an inkling of understanding why they did it. I think it's to try to help new players learn of like stat increases, decreases, and stuff like that, to where it's just not boom, it's done. You get to play the team. So
And
I have
game
an inkling.
diversity. I
Yeah,
think that's why too.
I have an inkling of why, like we just mentioned, but the replica teams are more difficult than rental teams. And then one thing I thought for sure that Pokemon Champions would have, and it's not hard because Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is not as good of a game as Pokemon Champions. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel has a way for you to review previous games. Like you could watch a whole game. Pokemon Champions does not have a replay system for reviewing gameplay, going over previous games and stuff like that. I assumed, being that this is going to be like the prime competitive game going forward, that would be something that'd be really useful to new players so they can learn from their mistakes and better themselves, and even from pro players. Pro players would definitely enjoy something like that for same situation. Pro players racking their brains of about losses for hours of like where they went wrong, what they could do, and like their pro players sometimes are so good with their mental abilities. Like um, Wolfie, for example, like he will memorize like the entire match, and it's 2 out of 3, and I don't know the time limit, but sometimes games could go for a long amount of turns, and to memorize from turn 1 all the way to turn 9 every move that happened, what happened, how it happened, is impressive. So I thought that for sure a replay system would be a big positive for champions, but as of right now there is no replay system.
We even talked about like it would be cool to have a spectating system. That way,
Exactly.
people like me who don't like to battle, I mean, I'll watch you guys battle all day long, if that's what you guys are doing that day.
Yeah, the
And then
spectating
go
would
ahead.
have been really, really nice to have, but unfortunately, we don't get that luxury. It doesn't sound like.
I feel they have some accessibility, quality of life features. Like it's something that's existed for a long time, like in-game move displays, clear information during the battles. Like um, you press the Y button, fake out, priority, flinch, whatever. It tells you exactly what the move does. Clear, bold-faced words to help people that might have some type of vision issues, detailed percentages that will help new players understand outcomes, automated stat system, which I have mentioned replaces EV and IV complexity. The UI transparency makes mechanics easy to follow, and visual indicators for like 4 times and 2 times effectiveness is really good for people that need those type of accessibility or quality of life features. So, any final champions thoughts or questions from either of you?
No, I still haven't played it a whole bunch. I did like 2 or 3 battles, and I'm I'm not the battle guy, so I shouldn't get a lot to say about any of it. I think it's another great thing. I think if we move battling over to there and make it a main focus on champions, it leaves the mainstay games open for more exploring and collecting, and they don't have to focus as hard on the battling. I mean, it's always going to be a part. I think that's a core important part of Pokemon for sure. But
I need to hire Q to be my fucking Pokemon manager to get me the Pokemon I need. I looked everywhere for fucking Kadabra. I looked everywhere for fucking Scyther. I had to go find in Scarlet where I could buy Metal Coat because for some reason I didn't have a Metal Coat to trade with my Scyther. I'm like, you guys got to be kidding me. And then I had to find a Blastoise. I don't have a Blastoise, so let me see what game has a Squirtle. Okay, well, this Squirtle is one of the stupid ones I got from Wonder Trade that has the stupid website name. So, like, well, I don't want to use that on Champion, so let me try to find a regular Squirtle. Oh, okay, well, this Squirtle's level 1, so let me go fight a gym leader in Scarlet to level it up. Like, save me the time, Q. I'm hiring you, man. But lots of updates in the video game worlds, lots of big things happening as we move on from Pokemon Champions. If anybody watching this podcast has any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Skags reads the comments, I read the comments, and we will answer them for you. Xbox, Asha Sharma, 6 months as I think it's been 6 months, 6 weeks or 6 months, I can't remember. But she's been putting out the good word, and everybody, all eyes. Like, let me tell you, she's 37. For someone before, I'm not gonna blow smoke up her ass too much, but for someone at the age of 37 to have the second most important job for Xbox, the only person above her is the guy that runs Microsoft. You have him, you have her. The second most important job at 37 is impressive. Now, we've talked multiple times. There's been a couple podcasts where Skags hasn't been around that me and Q have talked about the words she's put out and what she has said, and if she'll be able to capitalize and actually do what she says. Since she's been in office, we'll say, sound like a presidential thing. Since she's been in office, she's there's been some tweaks and stuff to Xbox dashboard, more customization, more different abilities, extra groups, customize your Xbox dashboard the way you want. She's brought back Xbox Fan Fest, all this different stuff. She's been out in the public eye. Phil Spencer's still in the background, kind of advising her as he getting ready to ride off until full retirement. But she put out a full memo. I'm going to read it real quick, and then we'll talk about it. Asha Sharma says, "Dear team, Xbox has always been different. We started with a simple idea. Games should bring people together through shared experiences. That led to the first Xbox in 2001, Xbox Live in 2002, and new ways to connect from friends lists and achievements to parties and play across devices, which she has also made improvements to Xbox achievements, which we've been asking for years. Today, Xbox reaches over 500 million players around the world with some of the most important franchises in entertainment. From the beginning, Xbox was built by people willing to try things that others wouldn't. We placed a consumer bet inside an enterprise company because we believed gaming would define the living room. We were at risk of missing it. That spirit carried us through the last 25 years, and it's required to carry us forward. We have work to do. Players are frustrated. A lot of players are frustrated with Xbox. New features drop on consoles have been less frequent. Our presence on PC isn't strong enough. Pricing is getting harder for people to keep up with. And core experiences, also, I did post this into the Discord if you guys wanted to reference it. Um, core experiences like search, discovery, social, and personalization still feel too fragmented. We've had a lot of issues, like you can no longer just transport directly to Twitter anymore due to uh, whatever the fancy technical settings are. You can't do it from PlayStation either. Developers and publishers are asking for more too: better tools, better insights, and a platform that helps them grow faster. At the same time, a new generation of players is coming online with different expectations. Their time split across games, media, and everything else competing for attention. They expect more content in familiar places, want to shape the worlds they play in, and want to create and socialize together, not just play together. These changes are happening as the industry reshapes around us. Consoles remain large and stable. Windows now represents more players and more hours and is increasingly where competition is most intense. Players have access to more games than ever, even as the cost and time to build blockbuster titles continue to rise, putting pressure on what gets made and how risk is taken. Some of the biggest recent hits are coming from small teams, even single creators, and places like Roblox are producing experiences that rival major franchise in scale. A team like Player Obscure, Expedition 33's team, 30 or so people working on that. They did have some outside sourcing, but 30 people making a game like Claire Expedition 33 that's still winning awards. There was just had the BAFTA awards, and actors from Expedition 33 still winning awards. The game still winning awards. Small team. More players are also choosing subscriptions and services as their primary ways to play, with expectations set around instant access, ongoing values, and libraries that evolve continuously. I will note that they lowered Game Pass pricing from $29.99 down to 22 something, but Call of Duty is no longer going to be in Game Pass day one or something. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with that. Maybe a new tier at some point, but Call of Duty is the only game they took out.
Hmm.
Industry is becoming global and competitive. More than half of the market's revenue players and growth are happening outside our core markets, but the rest of the world is not just a large market. Developers there are increasingly competing with the most established Western studios, combining scale, speed, and willingness to reinvent genres many once considered mature. The model that got us here won't be the one that takes us forward. Next one is Xbox will be where the world plays. What does Xbox become in the next era? Xbox will be where the world plays and creates. We build a global platform that connects players and creators everywhere. Console is at the foundation, delivering a premium experience, and cloud brings that experience to any device. You can play where you want, and your game progress, friends, and identity stay with you across console, PC, mobile, and cloud. Xbox will be built to be affordable, personable, and open. We'll offer flexible pricing so it's easy to get started and keep playing. The experience will adapt to you, letting you customize how you play, which they've talked about rumor of different Game Pass customizations of like certain things you want in your Game Pass to help with different pricing, is what the rumor is. The experience will adapt to you, letting you customize how you play, helping you find what you love, and connecting you with the right people, and will be open to all creators from individuals to the largest studios, giving anyone the tools to reach a global audience and keep their games growing over time. Our North Star will be daily active players, and we will execute this through four priorities: hardware, content, experience, and services. For hardware, these are the goals that they have: stabilize Gen 9, which is Xbox Series X and S, stabilize Gen 9 as a healthy and high quality base, deliver Project Helix, that's the next Xbox code name, to lead in performance in player console and PC games, which we've talked about, open platform, this is probably Steam OS storefront, lead in comfortable, personal, I keep saying personable, personal, high performance accessories, build a strong ecosystem that expands choice and reach, content, grow and extend an enduring portfolio of franchises players love, evolve our third party partnerships, and strengthen our 5 year slate, expand into China, emerging markets, and mobile first party audiences, which Japan, China, places like that have always been an issue for Xbox because Sony's been always the ones that get those Japanese and those types of styles games. So expand over there. They want to maintain and grow in live games and long term stewardship. Live games are like MMOs, Destinies, Monster Hunters, stuff like that. elevate creator-centric platforms, Minecraft, Elder Scrolls, Sea of Thieves, experience category. Fix the fundamentals for players and partners, make Xbox the best place for developers and creators to build and grow. Overhaul discovery, customization, social, and personalization to connect to the community. Services. Fortify Game Pass with clear differentiation and sustainable economics. My Game Pass limit, I think, price wise, is I will not pay over $30. I think that's pretty much my cutoff limit. I think me and Q have talked about that. But I want everything in my Game Pass. Um, so we'll see what Game Pass offers in the future as they make changes to that to help with affordable pricing. Return the business to a durable growth and strong cost discipline. Make cloud feel native, fast, and reliable across TVs and low-cost devices. Use M&A deliberately to accelerate growth where organic paths are too slow. Along the way, we will reevaluate our approach to exclusivity, windowing, and AI, and share more as we learn and decide. We are Xbox. To achieve our master plan, the way we work must transform. Our best work happens when the full stack moves together. Microsoft Gaming describes our structure, but it does not describe our ambition. So we are going back to where it started. We are changing the team's name. We are Xbox. We are a high agency culture where wild and wonderful ideas thrive. Our job is to not smooth over our differences, but to connect with everyone and connect them into something greater than any one studio or product. We have to be honest about where we are. We are a challenger, which Xbox has been behind PlayStation for a long time, and Nintendo's always been Nintendo. We're a challenger, and meeting this moment will require pace, energy, and a level of self critique that should feel uncomfortable, which the way you improve is self critique. At our best, they want to earn every player, protect the art, stay rebellious, progress over perfection, signal over ceremony, core before more, outwork the problem, speed is learning, makers over managers, clarity is kindness. Over the last 5 years, Xbox industry have been through an unimaginable amount of change, and this team has continued to deliver through it for our community. Thank you for staying focused on what matters. 62 days in is how long she's been there. 62 days in. We're proud of how we've honored our commitment to great games, return of Xbox, and future of play. We're here to do most creative and courageous work of our lives, and that is what we will do together. With gratitude, Matt Booty and Asha Sharman. For people that don't know, Matt Booty's been on the Xbox team for a long time under Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer. He was like head of first party, and then like he had a title of like over like Blizzard and stuff like that. I don't know his exact title, but that is the message to the entire Xbox team. What do you think about Asha and Matt Booty's words to the team, Q?
Um, I mean, it kind of just sounded a lot like what they said the first time, which is, and much like you said, the political standpoint of it all is, hey, everybody, we're doing good, we're still doing good, and we're going to continue to do good. Um, I don't play on console anymore, so I haven't been impacted by any of these positive changes that you said they've made that people are, you know, realizing and seeing. But to me, until the proof's in the pudding, and I think this is pretty much everything in my entire life. We can talk about it all we want, and they can promise whatever they want until we're 3 years down the road, and she was either the greatest thing to ever happen to Xbox or the worst thing to ever happen to Xbox. You can promise anything, you know. So I think it's. I hope that everything goes good. I hope that this is a positive and correct step uh, in the right direction for them. But I don't know. I don't take anybody at face value, especially super high up CEO executive people who have, regardless of if it's Xbox, PlayStation, whoever it is, all of these people since I was very young have shown time and time and time and time again that you can say whatever you want, but if at the end of the day it means them not making the money that they need to make, they will fuck over the consumer before they take the L. In a market where they can't hardly take the L. You're selling scrap metal and plastic to a bunch of people who can barely afford to fucking eat. And then once they get your scrap metal and plastic, you say, well, we're actually not going to make physical games for you guys anymore. You have to buy them all digitally. And you can only access those games that you bought with your own money when we decide we want you to access those games. And don't forget to pay your internet bill, or you can't even play your games anyway. And make sure that you keep consuming forever. So I don't trust none of those motherfuckers. I'm not the best guy to make comments on the big fucking conglomerate that is video game industry, but I hope that everything does go good and it kind of steers the entirety of everybody to look more. Let's get some relatable people who at least seem like on the outside they give a shit about the video games again. Let's start putting out good games. Let's not let AI come in here and streamline everything, and make it this fucked up place that doesn't feel like a good. I've been playing Gale of Darkness on my GameCube. I finally got a TV that I can hook up and play my OG games. And I think I've had the most stress free, beautiful week of not sitting on the internet and consuming bullshit and just sitting in my back room with my Xbox or with my GameCube controller and just playing Gale of Darkness. And you know what? I have found I'm not sitting there and playing until 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sitting there and trying to do a billion things at once. I play it until I'm bored, and then I'm like, well, I'll just save the game and shut it off and go to bed. When you have the streaming service and the fucking Netflix and your game and it's on your main TV and you can put it in your bedroom and you can do all this shit, it just turns into this big thing where they're poisoning us into consuming everything that they make, and then it doesn't matter how they treat us, because don't you love Netflix? Don't you want to watch the next season? Don't you really like Call of Duty? Don't you just want to have the next game, because that's what everybody else is doing, right?
And
Sorry,
before
I went on a
Skag goes,
fucking rant.
no, it's funny you mentioned Netflix because before Skag goes, like there have been some improvements, like I mentioned, achievements, different customization, overhauls, backwards compatibility is back open again. They're going through a back catalog of games. Um, there was I don't know if it was a poll or something that like talked about potentially partnering Game Pass like Netflix to lower subscription prices for Netflix or something like that. Maybe other streaming services. When they talked about like the customizable Game Pass, they're trying to figure out like what people would want or something like that. So we'll see what the Game Pass situation has. But what do you think, Skaggs?
Funny that you mentioned something about AIQ because something that I come.
Yeah, I did know that.
Yeah.
We When we did our first talk about that interview, that was her thing, which scares me a little bit because I feel like when you sprinkle that AI in, it's not as noticeable in the beginning. And it streamlines things and jobs are getting done. And then as that becomes more and more of a thing, the bugs start happening. People have to jump back in. Shit gets more expensive because it's 2 years fucked up, not just 2 lines of code fucked up. It's people not paying attention because they didn't have to. We're increasing prices while decreasing the amount of actual people who need paid are working on this project, and it just turns into this big mess where and we're also allowing them to, like I was getting at, sell us something that we don't own anymore. If Xbox fucking gets hacked, and I know this could never happen, but just the hypothetical, Xbox gets hacked and somebody completely destroys the mainframe that is Xbox Live, ruins everyone's accounts. You can never log back in. We can't untangle the mess. We can't give you back what you fucking lost. There's people who would be out of tens of thousands, if not more, dollars in games, movies, fucking everything else that just potentially could never, or Xbox could fucking wake up one day and be like, you know what? Fuck you guys. We're shutting down. They did it with Crunchy or what was the old anime service? That
Funimation.
Funimation. They just fucking got up one day and was like, Crunchyroll's buying us, and everything that you've ever bought on Funimation, you don't have access to anymore. Any digital product that you've ever bought with us, fucking, you have 15 fucking days to watch it, and then it's gone. No matter
Yep.
how much money you spent, no matter how much anything. And we're just allowing them to turn it to turn the whole system into let's just buy. We'll just sell them digital games, and people will buy it. And I don't agree with that, because I heard another little rumor that was PlayStation is talking about doing something along the lines of when you Skags, and your brand new badass PlayStation 5, you just buy your first little round of I'm gonna fucking get on the internet and I'm gonna play my games. And you didn't buy the PlayStation 5 that has the disc tray, you just bought the digital one. So all of your games are digital. You get called out on a work trip and you have to go to Guatemala for 4 weeks. And you get to Guatemala and you end up having to go there for 6 weeks. Well, you played 2 games on your PlayStation. You didn't bring it with you. It's sitting at the house. Nobody gets on and plays any game. They can get on and watch Netflix and everything, but nobody gets on and plays any games while you're gone. They determine, oh, well, you've been inactive for 30 days on digital games, so we are going to deactivate the service and not allow you to access your digital games. And it may be, if you're inactive for 30 days, wholly on the on your traffic, on connecting that to the internet. But basically, if you haven't fucking been on Wi-Fi on your PlayStation for 30 days, we can deactivate and just say, well, okay, you're done with it. Now, their argument is, well, this is helping people who forget that they're paying for PlayStation Plus, and we just assume that a 30 days of inactivity is long enough for someone who probably is not wanting to continue to pay the service. The problem is that's fine and dandy, but you're deactivating their access to their games, which means maybe your Wi-Fi went out and you're refusing to pay for your Wi-Fi anymore. Those games will not work as long as you don't, one, get back on the internet, and two, pay them their internet fee to reactivate your games to play them. So you literally don't own it.
Yeah, I heard the I watched a video on that, and it's is they will remove your access to being able to play games if you have not connected your system to the internet for 30 days. So it's not as bad as it's what you kind of went down to. It's not as bad as the first thing, but it's
Yeah.
still not good.
And if
It's
somebody could
stupid.
give me a good reason why that isn't simply we want the system to be updated as much as possible. We drop fucking micro updates every 15 minutes.
I seen
Why are you dropping micro updates every 15 minutes?
uh
I have a Nintendo 64 that plays every single fucking game that was ever made for it for fucking, what is it now, 30 fucking years almost that the motherfucking thing has been out. And I understand games are different. It's not just that anymore. And there's a bunch of multiplayer and there's a bunch of online and everything. We're still selling Skyrim. I bet you I can go buy a copy of Skyrim for PlayStation 5, right?
yeah.
Why is that game any different for me to play on my PlayStation 5 than me to play on my Xbox 360 or my PlayStation 4 or my Xbox One or any of the 800 other fucking consoles that game came out on. I could go plug my 360 in right now and play Skyrim today. But because I didn't plug my shit into the internet for 30 days, you say I can't play it on PlayStation 5?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and the video that I watched, it was like, yeah, no, that like this is shitty, and they haven't made it clear why they are, but the speculation that they had is that it's an anti-piracy thing, is what they're trying to do. And I mean, I don't get that, because if you've pirated the game, majority of people are just gonna have access to that anyway. It's gonna be on a USB drive, or they're gonna burn it to a disk if you have
Yeah.
the disk tray. Like, I don't think it's going to stop piracy.
Like I said, if somebody can put out a video that explains it for the dumb idiot that is me, how that would help with anti-piracy or how it helps in some way, shape, or form, other than here's my really zoomed out look at it. We do not want any complaints about bugs in games that would have potentially been fixed had their system been plugged in. We don't want people to be able to exploit things that they could potentially exploit in games, because now instead of building a complete and full game when we send it out for $85 per unit, we are allowed to do micro updates every 15 minutes on every single thing that comes out, because we just don't want to bug test or do any of the other silly things that one should do when they make a game. So we don't want people to exploit games. We don't want to hear about people complaining about bugs. We don't want it's just a long list of shit that is solely PlayStation saying we don't really want to deal with a whole bunch of this, and it'll probably reduce our traffic a little bit if we can, the wear and tear on our end is going to be less if we can kick more people, keep remove more people's access. And I think when you have a service that people pay for, or especially a product that people pay for, at the point of time of purchase, you don't get to determine how and what people do with that product, regardless of if it is a digital entity that exists on your server, on your whatever it may be. When a transaction's made, a transaction's made. That's why I'll never buy. I have very few things that I've ever bought digitally besides like Steam and stuff like that. And that's because you tell me what fucking video game company is coming out with discs of their games.
Yeah.
But I also am comfortable with the fact that if Steam shut down and I had no access to my games anymore, that's okay. That's not where my Pokemon games are. That's not where all of
But
the
it's
things that
also
I
been a
care about
thing
are.
from the start, like with Steam. Like, that's how it works. That's how it operates.
Yeah.
It's not something that's being taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah, also seen same thing. PlayStation. Don't know why. I don't have a good reason for it. But I have a hard cutoff at noon
Okay.
because I have important writers meeting. So we'll skip the last topic, which is magic related. I know Q might have got hot on this one because we talked about metagame discussion. A new set just came out, so I'm not going to really put much onto what the metagame is, but 30% of 30% is what the highest deck at Pro Tour Secret of Strixhaven is. However, does not have a good win rate, so poo poo on them for taking the easy way out.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, get shit
our
on.
our our gay our comparison for this week
Not
was by
gay comparisons.
was by Skaggs, and he said video game characters, two for each people, so it wasn't relegated to one franchise. so I decided to go the Suikoden 1 route. And I always give Skaggs and Quentin a duo, and there are lots of duos in the entire Suikoden franchise. And I
All right.
kept,
Get
even
ready to
before the
look it up.
podcast started, I was discovering more. So the duo I'm giving Skaggs and Quentin is Taiho and Yamku. Taiho and Yamku are brothers. They're fishermen. Taiho's the one that gives you your first access to a boat, but you have to beat him by gambling in a game of Chincharon. Lots of speed runs end when you lose to Taiho and Chincharon. It's my favorite Suikoden minigame. I love Chincharon. Taiho and Yamku are really cool. You need them to actually fight the pirates, which we're going to talk about trios in a second. Yamku is the main fisherman of the two, so Q is Yamku, Skaggs is Taiho. The trio, there's a trio of pirates in Suikoden 1. Angie, Kanak, and Leonardo. Uh, we're a trio of people, and it fits perfectly. But as for Q, you have a unique personality when it comes to trying to find a good Suikoden character for you. So the first character I gave you is Maximilian. Maximilian is this old, eccentric leader of the Maximilian Knights, and I just the few points of dialogue Maximilian has in the game is just really funny. Like it's this old guy, like the portrait's like just him going fucking nuts. That's just what the image gives off. And then I gave you Juppo. Juppo is this real short guy with this red hat. Like, he's a trickster. That's the rune that he has in the game. It's based off runes and true runes. But Juppo is a trickster. He designs Lapont's traps in his house, and I feel the personality of Juppo and Maximilian fit Q pretty well. As for Skaggs, there's a few ones I gave Skaggs, but it was hard to narrow it down. So I gave Skaggs originally Kwanda Rossman, but I felt there was better, and I went with Peshmerga first. Everybody knows Suikoden, Peshmerga and Uber have like this rivalry. We have no idea why. 5 mainline games, tactics, side games, novels. We do not know why Peshmerga and Uber hate each other, but Uber has a true rune. Peshmerga's always hunting Uber. He's this big tank, horn helmet, full body armor guy. He's just the massive tank. And then I gave Skaggs Thusulu. It's
Thusulu.
yes, it's this guy who's wearing like a type of like hide armor, where it's like a tiger hide armor type thing, and he's big, muscular guy. You got to pay 10,000 bits because you got to pay for his meal that he's trying to skip out on to recruit him. But two big, muscular tanks, I feel fit Skag perfectly, and then Juppo and Maximilian for Q. As for myself, I gave myself Matthew. He's the strategist in Suikoden 1. Self-explanatory, knowledge, stuff like that. And then Crawley. Crawley's like a really powerful magician, magic user that's been around for many, many years. Lots of knowledge on magic and stuff like that. So Suikoden 1 is what I went for, you guys.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'll go ahead with mine. I got a duo for me and each one of you. For me and Chris, it's actually an interesting one. Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Because and it's just like the Sub-Zero title. So like what is it? Bin Kang and I'm gonna look it up again because I am gonna mess that up. But there's the first version of Sub-Zero that Scorpion thinks killed his family and ends up killing Scorpion. He comes back all pissed off. That's whenever you beat me and Animar, me and Q with Animar 1v2. And so I
Yeah,
had to,
that was dastardly.
yeah. And so he ends up coming back, killing that version of Sub-Zero, and then ends up kind of friendly with that ends up working with the falling one after the whole plot gets figured out. For Q, it is Marcus and Dom from Gears of War.
Hell yeah.
I'm
Who's
Marcus,
who?
you're Dom,
Okay.
which is
Why does Q got to be the one that dies?
Well, that's fair.
I just think
My
the way that
will is not as strong.
I think the way they act, Dom is more level headed and just normal, and Marcus is an angry motherfucker. I mean, he was locked up for being an asshole at the start of the entire Gears franchise. So yeah, I think that fits. Um, then I went for the last ones on both of you are from Fable. Chris got Garth from Fable 2. He's kind of like a sorcerer, uses magic and stuff like that. Uh, Fit pretty well for you. And Q, you got Walter from Fable 3. He's he's an old knight that teaches you how to fight, and he runs away with you and helps you become king and everything. But he's an old retired knight. He got a little bit of a gut on him, and but he's goofy and he's funny and he's great. And his the end of his arc was a very actually hard hitting sad moment for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's mine. Bing bang boom.
Heck yeah. I gave us a trio, and you guys can argue who's who. I have, and you could also argue that this may not be a trio, but I'm making it a trio. We have Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong, and Cranky Kong.
Okay.
I'm
He was Diddy.
definitely Diddy Kong. So you guys can argue. Some days one of you is more cranky than Donkey, and some days the other is more cranky than Donkey. So
Chris is older, so he gets Cranky Kong.
I'm I'm fine with that. It doesn't bother me.
wiser as well.
Yeah,
Um,
he the old man.
Chris, your
Rakdos Tackler
second.
sucks.
Better than your favorite card.
I don't think so. I don't even know what my favorite card is anymore.
See, exactly. Has no opponent, automatically wins. Forfeited
uh,
match.
no blockers declared. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, for Chris's second, I went with Handsome Jack,
Ooh.
just because I feel like you're pretty funny most of the time, and got that like conniving kind of get shit done vibe to you. In a good way, not in like a Handsome Jack way, but kind of in a Handsome Jack way.
I was gonna say, it
Um,
sounds like he's calling you a bastard.
I can't remember their names. The other two that I picked for you and me, Skags, are the two guys from the God damn it, I just had the name of it. Army of Two.
Oh, yeah. The
Because I
first
don't
one?
think I don't think they're related, are they?
No, they're just homies.
Yeah.
Uh I don't
Tyson
remember.
Rios and Elliot Salem, Army Rangers turned private military contractors.
Yeah, Tyson Rios, Elliot Salem. Elliot Salem actually doesn't sound all that familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's the the following games. No, still Elliot Salem and Tyson Rios. Okay, fair enough. Those
Yep.
those two are cool. They're goofy bastards.
They're cool, they're funny, and very much a majority of our time is just running around acting like that, I feel like.
Yeah, a little
Not the
less
killing people
bullets.
part, but
I think
All
that's.
right, so
I think that's
so the
good.
next comparison is my choice. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. I have a few. I was just gonna do video game ones again because it's so vast. We could do it again, but we can save that for another one if we're stumped. So I got two. I'm gonna let you guys choose between the two. So either which mega Pokemon do we think each other are and ourselves, or Final Fantasy X character.
ooh,
Which one is Final Fantasy X?
That's the one with Titus and Yuna and Orin.
it's the
It's
10th
the
Oh,
one.
first one on PlayStation
it's the
2.
10th one. You motherfucker.
It's the first one on PlayStation 2.
I mean, you can do the Final Fantasy one, but I don't know if me and Q are gonna know anybody.
I, I'll do my research best I can, but I'm not going to be able to get into as obscure characters as you are going to get into with
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
I mean, there's quite a few characters in the game, so just a quick Google search, and I'm sure you could find something out. Or we can do the Mega Pokemon one, whichever. I don't mind.
Your choice.
I
You
said we
choose.
I said we save the Mega Pokemon one because I have
Okay.
a sneaking suspicion there'll be more.
I'll send you something, a link or something for Final Fantasy X characters. It's not hard to find something out. I could probably guess which characters already we're going to pick for each other. But so
Yeah.
next show's comparison in 2 weeks will be Final Fantasy X characters for each other. There's no duo that I know of in the game, but who knows? Maybe I'll find something anyways. But that's all for episode 27 of the Thicc Boi Hours podcast. That's Q, aka Short Round. You won't be able to find him anywhere except out saving people's lives. Maybe pulling an animal out of a pipe or something. No, maybe
Oh,
saving an animal life too every now and then.
one interruption. I might start streaming here soon once I get all my
Oh, let's go.
consoles. So I'll let you know on
Let
that.
you. I'm also I'm also looking for a thumbnail artist because I hate YouTube thumbnails. So if you're not too expensive, holler at your boy. Down there below me is Dodgy Yeti, Tyler Skaggs. You can find him Twitter, vintage_ISO. You can find him streaming on Twitch, Dodgy Yeti, YouTube, Dodgy Yeti, everywhere else. I'm seeing it 1313. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, seeing it Chris Jones, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, Mastodon, Fuse, which is now called like Panorama. They changed the app name. Facebook, wherever, seeing it Chris Jones or seeing it 123. Also on Twitch, but not with great internet. And we'll see you next time for episode 28.
Sweet.